if there's something related, if she's working on something related to woman inspiration, what colors would you suggest?
Mhm. Well, it depends on the type of content that you'd share, because if you'd be working on something that's more business related, it would have a different tone and a different feel. But if it has something to do with lifestyle changes and more healthier lifestyle, then it would also have a different direction to it. If for example we'd be working on something that's related to business, maybe purple and blue would be a good combination, would be an interesting combination to explore. And maybe if something that has to do with green lifestyle and healthy habits, then something along turquoise or green would work better in that context. It pretty much depends, even though it's very much about something that's more feminine and more womanly. The type of content that you're working with would very much influence the type of colors that you'd be using. Any challenges you face? Because I'm not sure how far in the process you are in terms of design, in terms of the design process. Maybe maybe I can roadblocks, any roadblocks you had, or any challenges you face while brainstorming or while collecting ideas that I can maybe help with some best practices that weren't mentioned before. It seems we have a question. Okay. So somebody asked about designing for children and about types of colors we can use for children. And I think in when it comes to children, you can go crazy with the colors. It's usually very colorful for everything that relates to little kids, and you have the liberty to use all kinds of characters, all kinds of very animated little figures. It's usually more you can be very creative with this topic, because it's very youthful, and you can come up with all these imaginary little characters that you can incorporate into the actual logos. And there are all kinds of colors that you can use. There are no limits there. Um, any more questions? So I think this will be pretty much the end of the session. I really hope. Oh, okay. Another question. Um, a universal design or color scheme that reflects community. Community. Well, it's as I've pretty much highlighted and throughout the various slides. I think when it comes to trying to portray community, it's not enough to actually stick to a certain color. It pretty much also depends on the type of shapes and types of compositions that you'd be using. Um, Usually, there are set concepts that you can use when it comes to portraying community. But I think it would be a bit hard to pinpoint what an actual color that uh, instantly symbolizes the sense of uh, cooperation and sociability that relates to this theme. You have to really explore the types of shapes that you'd be working with as well. So it pretty much depends on the combination of shape and color in that case. And also the type of community. So you might have a more conservative community would be very different from so let's say a very techie community would be very different from some people who form a group over organic, healthy products that and do yoga all day and follow a very much of a healthy lifestyle and a very eco-conscious, and that would be something very different from something that's very techy and digital. And well, tech companies, they are you have various directions. You have those who are very monochrome. You have some of them always focus on their typography, but their typography is the modern type of type. So you don't usually have a serif type. You have something more of a sans serif type and with bold characters. And then you have those who are very much about the 3D emblems. They tend to use, for example, transitions in colors. Or you have those who are very much based on line art. So the actual emblem is a contour of the actual image or the actual little logo icon that they can be using. So it pretty much you have pretty much changes over the years, um, but these are the three main styles that are related to tech companies.